We are discussing Atlas anew. We possess fresh updates and also new findings. And if you are unaware of what I am referencing, this is naturally the third interstellar body, or interstellar comet, found in July 2025, which scientists have been hurrying to analyze during the last few months. And presently, the comet has recently finished the most extreme segment of its travel, where it transits through perihelion, or the nearest location to the Sun. But unluckily for us, within this vital time frame, it is totally hidden by the Sun and can just be viewed from worlds like Mars. We truly covered observations from Mars inside one of the prior videos in the description. But if you are inquisitive, there is not a lot to observe. But notwithstanding this, many space-located tools have been concentrated completely on this comet simply because it is a scarce occurrence. But currently, as it has emerged from behind the Sun, investigators have a fresh chance to see it once more, and we have possessed some initial findings. However, presently, we are not truly restating several of the past facts, which, as always, you can view in several of the prior videos in the description, and we are not covering any of the fundamental facts. For instance, velocity, dimensions, age. Every one of these was detailed previously. Alternatively, we are simply going to concentrate on several of the newest updates, and precisely the ones that could be slightly astonishing, and the ones that show the genuine character of this object. But many of these findings are clearly exceptionally thrilling, just because the age of this comet is believed to be 7 billion years old, or perhaps older. It is truly a time container. It is ejecting substance that is billions of years old, providing us unparalleled perspective on the ancient past of the galaxy. So what precisely occurred during perihelion, the instant the comet was nearest to the Sun? The reply arrived on October 29th, only a few days prior. At that time, the comet was just about 220 million kilometers from the Sun, which is approximately the same separation as the Earth and the Sun, just a bit more. Nonetheless, the comet was totally hidden from Earth, compelling astronomers to depend on space eyes, such as the SOHO and Ghost 19 observatories. These devices, which are specifically crafted to filter out the brilliant light from the Sun, permit scientists to analyze the solar atmosphere, and on this occasion, they became the sole observers to document the comet's perilous voyage. What they found was really captivating. Did the comet endure this fierce meeting, or was it totally incinerated by the Sun's huge plasma storm? A few researchers also theorized that its vanishing or shift in orbit might show something strange in the solar magnetic field, an enigma that scientists are hastily attempting to resolve. The initial big finding that amazed the scientific community was this. Right before perihelion, between October 20th and 25th, Comet Atlas abruptly illuminated at an amazing pace. In just a brief period, it grew more brilliant than ever previously. So brilliant that if anyone was observing from Mars, the sight would have been stunning. What astonished researchers even further was how sharply the luminosity rose, differing from most comets that just shine slowly as surface ice converts into gas. Studies reveal that the rise tracked an inverse power of 7, a remarkable number that indicated something very strange occurring on the comet's surface. Investigators chronicled this peculiar occurrence within a new study, yet since this was so recent, nobody understood what the cause was. A single fact remained obvious. The nearer Atlas shifted towards the Sun, the stronger its outgassing swelled. What confused researchers even further was an enigmatic hue change, which caused the comet to look bluer than the Sun proper. This signified a critical juncture, just as the change implied the existence of unstable compounds, such as cyanide or ammonia, that emit brilliant visible light. The azure luminescence from these vapors overshadows the crimson light mirrored by particles, lending the comet its odd, strong color. Curiously, this was now the third hue alteration chronicled for Comet Atlas. Previously, it had shimmered with a verdant shade for multiple weeks, and the reason for that tint remains unidentified. This behavior demonstrates that Atlas is extremely dynamic, ejecting substances at a speed many-fold faster than most comets within our solar system. These indications bolster the hypothesis that Atlas might be an old Voyager, created at the remote fringe of a long-vanished star system, drifting through blackness for eons of years prior to ultimately meeting daylight. A stunning picture from the Very Large Telescope contributed even greater mystery. It recorded the comet's gaseous and particulate shroud-altering form continuously, creating a nebulous trail that appeared to extend straight towards the Sun, as though the star proper was tugging and shaping the comet's external shell. Researchers presently question if this is a standard physical phenomenon or proof of some undiscovered interplay involving the comet and the Sun's magnetic field. That query is currently propelling worldwide investigation initiatives for solutions. The latest information from the James Webb Telescope has uncovered a different viewpoint on this enigmatic body when seen in infrared. The results affirm that Atlas's exterior has withstood intense radiation throughout its extended voyage through interstellar void, spanning billions of years. During that period, potent cosmic rays from around the galaxy battered its exterior, particle by particle and molecule by molecule, slowly altering its makeup via innumerable chemical processes. This continual bombardment forged a thick, primeval shell, calculated to be 15 to 20 meters deep, around 50 to 65 feet. Researchers regard this stratum a type of cosmic chronicle of the universe, saving remnants of each collision and beam of energy that might contain chemical hints from the solar system's first moments. Should people ever touch down on this comet, particularly when it is distant from the Sun, they would not be positioned on an inert chunk of ice, but on a live testament to the cosmos's initial history. The exterior of Atlas has been molded for eons of years by the tempests of space. Investigators think it might possess the solution to knowing how the basic elements of the cosmos developed, and also pose a bigger query: could organic substances, previously altered by cosmic rays, serve a function in generating life elsewhere in the cosmos? This comet, therefore, is much more than an icy body floating through space. It is a recollection of the cosmos itself, bearing the narrative of eons of years that daylight is just now starting to reveal. That old bombardment likewise aided in resolving one of the comet's initial puzzles: its exceptionally large quantity of carbon dioxide. Initial readings indicated carbon dioxide concentrations well past all predictions, and researchers were at first incapable of clarifying them. Yet recent infrared information currently implies the solution rests within the identical extended duration of universal bombardment. While the comet roamed across the cosmos, continual subjection to high-energy bits progressively converted superficial carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide. Through eons of time, this gradual procedure fortified the external shell with carbon dioxide, producing the unique chemical fingerprint presently identified by the James Webb Telescope. To researchers, this alters the method we perceive cometary chemical makeup. It implies that the vapors and frosts ejected from comets are not pristine leftovers of the initial cosmos, as formerly believed, but substances that were chemically altered during ages of bombardment. To put it differently, what we view currently is not pure substance, but a remade material formed by universal duration. This prompts a further query: might strata of pristine old frost yet rest below the solid shell, containing the genuine account of the comet's origin? Should the warmth at perihelion liquefy a portion of the external covering, it could reveal those concealed strata for the initial instance, enabling researchers to examine chemical proof from the comet's native residence in some faraway star system. A different finding rendered Atlas still more captivating. It holds somewhat extra nickel compared to other identified comets. Although not presently verified, this result suggests that separate star systems could create with differing quantities of weighty components. That concept uncovers a fresh avenue for exploring how planetary substances vary between galaxies. In this light, Atlas is not merely a comet moving near the Sun. It is a temporal container safeguarding the intricate chemical past of the cosmos. Every fresh sighting provides a further hint as to how universal substance has developed through time. A new report has provided a fascinating fresh viewpoint on why interstellar comets like Atlas are so crucial to our comprehension of the cosmos. These roaming frozen objects, which travel over the huge expanses among star systems, are greater than simple cosmic travelers. They might be the absent connection in the puzzle of how planets arise. Conventionally, researchers have thought that planets arise from endless impacts between dust specks and stony pieces circling new stars. Through millions of years, these small specks stick together, slowly creating bigger objects that ultimately grow into planets. However, this traditional paradigm confronts a significant issue called the meter obstacle. When bits expand to roughly a meter in dimension, they usually rebound from each other or shatter rather than adhering together. This presents a basic query. Should the procedure halt at the meter level, how did whole planets then appear? The fresh hypothesis suggests that interstellar comets could have supplied the solution. These old bodies, ejected from their home planetary systems eons ago, journey perpetually through interstellar void until they meet new star systems. As such a comet moves close to a new star, encircled by a spinning protoplanetary ring of vapor and bits, the star's pull may trap it. When captured, the comet might function as a kernel, a firm solid object that pulls in nearby bits and stones. This mechanism would permit substance to gather much more effectively, avoiding the meter obstacle and allowing the swift expansion of planetary embryos. Should this framework be accurate, it implies that planet creation is not solely a regional phenomenon, contained within a solitary solar system. Alternatively, it might rely on interstellar swapping, whereby comets from one star system assist planets seeding in a different one. Huge stars with their mightier gravitational attraction could be particularly adept at seizing these interstellar travelers. This could potentially clarify why massive planets, such as Jupiter and Saturn, worlds composed chiefly of gas and ice, are more commonly located near stars bigger than our Sun. The procedure of seizing and seeding might also impact the variety of planetary systems seen throughout the cosmos, presenting a more fluid and linked depiction of cosmic history. Although this concept continues to be hypothetical, it holds extraordinary ramifications. If interstellar comets genuinely function as planetary kernels, then the narrative of Earth's individual creation might have started with one such wanderer. Over 4.5 billion years prior, a comet, drifting among the stars, could have wandered too near to the infant sun, been seized, and embedded itself inside the early solar disk. From that kernel, particles and vapor gathered, shaping the planet that eventually would permit the rise of life, and of us. It is a concept that seems like speculative fiction, yet it hints at a profound verity. All planets, including our own, could share a mutual origin, originating from ancient cosmic particles that once drifted unimpeded among the stars. Presently, as Comet Atlas proceeds on its voyage through our solar system, researchers are rushing to discover as much as feasible before it again vanishes into interstellar void. Following its perihelion, the location where it nears closest to the Sun, Atlas was captured by the Discovery Telescope of the Lowell Observatory on Halloween evening, signifying the start of a fresh phase in its observation. The sightings delivered welcome tidings. Despite premature theories that the comet could shatter or perhaps be a man-made body, Atlas stays intact and continues to function like a typical comet. Amateur sky watchers in the northern hemisphere can currently find Atlas with small telescopes, manifesting as a dim, gleaming trail that extends northward during the pre-sunrise hours. As it moves nearer to Earth in the upcoming weeks, its luminosity is anticipated to rise, offering sharper images and more plentiful photographic information. For many skywatchers, this is a scarce opportunity to observe a comet that came from far beyond our solar vicinity, a frozen emissary from another star. Throughout the scientific sphere, numerous observatories and probes are monitoring Atlas concurrently. On Earth, devices such as SOHO, Punch, and the Hubble Space Telescope are charting its trajectory and makeup. From orbit, the James Webb Telescope provides detailed infrared views, while missions like Lucy and Psyche, currently probing areas near Atlas's trajectory, are positioned to gather supplementary information. Collectively, these synchronized endeavors offer an unmatched chance to analyze an interstellar comet in real time, showing its chemical composition, structure, and the physical phenomena propelling its behavior. The greatly awaited instant shall arrive on December 19th, as Comet Atlas executes its nearest pass by Earth. During that period, facilities globally shall record high-definition pictures and readings, studying the makeup of its core, the vapor discharges, and the tiny particles freed when sunlight warms its frozen exterior. The forthcoming Clipper voyage is also anticipated to travel through Atlas's plasma stream, gathering bits of matter and charged atoms to return for scientific examination. This might produce priceless insights regarding how comets engage with the solar breeze, and how they perhaps assisted in transporting water and biological compounds to new worlds. By March 2026, Atlas shall move beyond Jupiter prior to disappearing into the deep blackness, moving so swiftly that it must shortly depart the solar system permanently. When it leaves, the opportunity to examine it shall vanish, maybe for eons of time, assuming it even comes back ever. Researchers are consequently utilizing all of each viewing opportunity, collecting each particle of light and each mote of matter that could assist in opening the mysteries it holds. In one way, Comet Atlas is not simply a different heavenly body, it is a temporal container from the first moments of the cosmos, an icy remnant that might possess the solutions to how worlds, and maybe life itself, started. As it ultimately vanishes past the range of our instruments, the wisdom acquired from its brief appearance might redefine our comprehension of planetary beginnings and recall for us that even throughout the immensity of void, all things in the universe stay deeply linked. Relying on all the information collected to date, researchers may newly affirm that Comet Atlas is among the weirdest and most erratic heavenly bodies yet recorded. From the instant it arrived in the interior solar system, it started to defy nearly all things we believed we understood regarding comets. Its three striking hue alterations and the amazing increase in luminosity as it approached the Sun have made scientists perplexed and captivated. Concurrently, no current comet framework has previously forecast this type of chaotic conduct. These shifts are so intense that they suggest intricate physical and chemical mechanisms occurring far within Atlas, mechanisms that mankind has not once directly documented previously. Comprehending them completely shall demand numerous extra months, perhaps years, of meticulous viewing and information review. What renders this still more amazing is the finding of a dense exterior layer, multiple meters thick, which was intensely bombarded by universal rays. This discovery has compelled researchers to entirely rethink how comets are created, how they develop, and also how we must examine them. It is currently evident that the exterior shell of Atlas is not the pristine substance from the dawn of the cosmos. Rather, it was reformed and chemically changed across eons of time via continual subjection to strong energy bombardment in interstellar void. This bombardment has made Atlas into a form of live repository, a native workshop journeying through the universe, wherein each particle of matter bears a history of how substance in void has shifted and developed from the start of time. For all these justifications, Comet Atlas genuinely merits being named one of the most noteworthy travelers to the solar system in recent times. It is not simply an icy stone moving past, it is a traveling testament to the cosmos's primeval past. But analyzing such a scarce and volatile body compels researchers to nurture a specific kind of thinking, a readiness to exist with ambiguity and to accept the unfamiliar. As one sky watcher noted, analyzing Atlas necessitates a type of scholarly forbearance. We need to concede that not every puzzle shall be figured out, that some inquiries might stay unresolved for eons. Our time is expiring. The comet is already rapidly moving away from the Sun, and shortly it might just vanish into the outer blackness where our instruments can no longer follow. Nevertheless, before that all occurs, several very audacious and innovative concepts have now started to emerge inside the scholarly circle. Could Atlas represent something greater than a comet? Could it possibly be an ancient envoy which was ejected from a remote and long since deceased star system, bearing inside it the chemical imprints of those worlds which no longer exist? Or perhaps its dense, heavily blasted shell conceals very intricate organic compounds, those very basic components of life, which have yet to be found anywhere else within our solar system. Some researchers now even theorize that the powerful cosmic bombardment that Atlas withstood over billions of years could well have initiated unknown chemical processes, thereby forging entirely new organic molecules. If all this proves to be correct, Atlas may be not merely a comet, it could very well be a floating repository, a prospective genetic substance, a sort of cosmic time vessel, carrying with it the precursors of DNA right through our entire galaxy. If just one of these very daring suppositions is confirmed, Comet Atlas would be able to assist humanity to finally validate the idea that organic substance can drift unimpeded between different star systems. This, undoubtedly, would provide very strong reinforcement to the known panspermia hypothesis, that very idea that the kernels of life can actively move through space, being transported by comets, asteroids, and also interstellar particles, and in the end manage to take root on such planets, like our Earth. But to confirm such an important finding, surely, will be not at all simple. Time is very scarce, and researchers have only just a few valuable months remaining before Atlas disappears into the frigid blackness, far beyond Jupiter's orbit, perhaps, to never again be glimpsed. Even with this, Comet Atlas has already managed to become an unending fount of inspiration, both for sky watchers and for space fans. Each new picture, each new bit of data, adds another fresh layer to the developing enigma. The upcoming weeks promise us more sightings, pictures with a higher resolution, and possibly even such findings which nobody could have foreseen. Irrespective of whether Atlas survives its next rendezvous with the Sun, or if it shatters into separate pieces, it already has reminded us all of something very profound about the beauty, the enigma, and also the pure magnitude of the universe in which we reside. Each single gleam of light, each tiniest mote of cosmic dust holds inside it the remembrance of billions of years of history, and maybe even the faintest traces of life itself. If you definitely wish to track this narrative, just as it continues to develop, ensure that you are subscribed and activated all alerts for this channel. I absolutely shall be posting subsequent video clips as entirely new information arrives, particularly after the passing by the comet of its perihelion, when we all finally learn what then happens to Atlas following its close rendezvous with the Sun. Post your comment below and contribute your ideas. How do you suppose? What will we learn regarding this interstellar wanderer? Will it endure its voyage safe and sound? Or are we just about to observe a dramatic occurrence of disintegration? I carefully review all your comments and really wish to know what you think.